आलयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। उकारो अन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We are studying Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad and we are in the kārikā portion. Kārikā is a treatise written by Gaudapada Acharya based upon the verses of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. Kārikā will be taught along with the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad in tradition. Then only the person will be freed from doubts, errors, and possible mistakes of understanding Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. So we are also studying the kārikā because it is a traditional teaching. I'm not just giving a class, just translating the meaning. We are studying traditionally whatever we have done by our the gurus, the considered as forefathers of the tradition. So we will also study Māṇḍūkya kārikā, and we are in the second section of Māṇḍūkya kārikā, 6th verse. What is the 6th verse? Ādau ante cha yannāsthi vartamāne vitattatha vithatai sadrishā santo avitata iva lakshitā. Once more. Ādau ante cha yannāsthi vartamāne vitattatha vithatai sadrishā santo avithata iva lakshitā. Ādau ante cha yannāsthi. What is not there at the very beginning? Remember, very beginning, there will be always some cause for anything. For example, for a chick to hatch, there should be an egg at the very beginning. But the point is, what is there at the very beginning should stay without any change till the end. But here, the story goes like this. After the hatching of the chick, the egg will not remain anymore. So the logic will not fit for the egg. See, Ādau anteja yennasti. What is not there at the very beginning, what is not there at the very end. At first also something is not there, at the last also something is not there. The product never existed at the very beginning, or something born never existed at the very beginning, and also it will never survive till the last, till the end. Everything will be appearing for a particular time in the flow of era or time. For example, I already mentioned you our own birth and death. We are not there at the very beginning. We are not there at the very end. We are all here after 2000, after 1900, and we will not be here after 2100. Or we are all here between these 200 years or less than that. I just gave you an example, that's all. In 1200, we are not here. 1500 AD, we are not here. 1600, we are not here. We are not going to be here at 2200 AD also. So the logic fit for all these human beings and other living beings in the world. Ādau anteja yen nasti. As a product, as a bone, anything appears in the world will fit for this logic, which is not there at the very beginning, like a cause, which is not there at the very end. That should be considered as vartamanevi tattada. In the present condition also, it never existed at any point of time. What is not there at the beginning, that is not there at the present tense also, even though it appears as though it exists. That is what the meaning is conveyed. What is not there at the beginning, very beginning, that is not there at the present condition, even it appears as though existing. The body is ever changing due to the metamorphosis. It is always changing. That's why we get aged. A newborn baby become a boy or a girl, then it will become a teenager, and it will get a middle age, and it will get older, and it will be a patient, and it will depart. So the changes are going in and through at every second. How can we say that a something is existing without changing at any point of time when it goes changing every second? So we are all, from the standpoint of empirical reality, we seems to be existing, but in reality, we are not existing at all. Ever-changing thing is not existing at any point of time. In the present condition also, if we see something, it is not existing at all. Vartamanebi tattada. Present condition. In the presence, vartamana kalam, present tense. Bhavishya kalam, future tense. Past tense, bhuta kalam. What is not there at the very beginning, what is not there at the very end, what is existing in between, should be considered as a non-existing thing. It never existed at any point of time. This is what is being told here. And vitataihi sadrisha santaha. The very objects which we are perceiving in the dream state is also an error. So too, the very objects which we are perceiving in the waking state is also should be considered as error only. That is, what is being considered in the dream state, we know that it's an error because we get up and we will see, oh, nothing was there. It was only a dream. But in the waking state, there are problems to consider them as errors because it's my children, it's my wife, it's my boyfriend, it's my girlfriend, it's my house, it's my car, and it has some purpose to serve for me. And they are laughing, they are thinking, they are helping, they are serving, they are supporting. How can I consider them as errors? This is the point. Then Gaudapada put this logic, Adau anteja ennasti vartamanebi tattatha. What is not there at the very beginning, our children was not there at the very beginning. What to talk about children? We should talk about ourselves. We are not there at the very beginning of the creation. We are not there at the very end of the creation. How can I say that I am existing or my children is existing? Adau anteja ennasti vartamanebi tattada. It should be considered as non-existing thing only. Vithataihi sadrishasantaha. Both are an error. Both are errors. What is been appearing in the dream state, what is appearing in the deep sleep state. Avithata iva lakshidaha. But an ignorant person who don't know the reality about the oneself, that body is is a superimposition on the real consciousness. Body is just like a mirage water appearing in the desert. It seems to be existing. When we go more near, it will not be there. Again, it will be there, bit far from our place. Mirage water is only a superimposition on the land. Similarly, the body seems to be existing for everybody in the waking state, but when we analyze, there is no word called body. It will resolve into different organs. When we touch anyone and show this is your body, the person may say, this is not my body, this is my hand. If you touch the head, they will say it is my head. If you touch your hip of a person, if you touch the hip of a person, he will say or she will say, this is not my hip. This is not my body. So body never existed at any point of time. A group of things intelligently put together and it is been conveyed as some other word. In reality, if we analyze the organ of the body, it will resolve to seven other things. Sapta dhatava. Like, metas, asti, majja, like that. Blood, fat, like that, everything, skin, everything will resolve into some other things. So in reality, even though the thing seems to be appearing, if you analyze properly, no existing thing, no other than reality, pure consciousness existed in this world. But people who don't know or who never studied under a traditional teacher and who believe this waking state is true will take granted and they consider waking state is true. Why? They have a big argument for that. The biggest argument for the people who believe waking state is true, there is a purpose for the object which I perceive in my waking state. What is that purpose? A pot will subserve the purpose of holding some water for my thirst. How can you say pot never existed at any point of time? Because a pot holding water is right in front of me. I am very happy with my husband. How can you say that husband is mithya. My car take me to different places whenever I need. I don't need to wait for anybody. How can you say that my car is mithya? Because a purpose is served by that. So anything having the purpose in the waking state, because I eat some falafel hummus and I get my complete hunger. Complete hunger is gone. I am filled with my stomach. How can I say that whatever hummus I have eaten is mithya, an error? Because it served a purpose. My hunger has gone. I drink some water. I quench my thirst. How can you say that water is mithya? Because when the water is real only, my hunger can go. If the water is an error, is an imagined fact, it is an imagined story or theory, how can it quench my thirst? For example, I have a glass here. I imagine I have a glass in my hand. And imagine I have full of water in my imagined glass. And imagine the glass holding imagined water. Can I quench my thirst? No. But if there is a real glass and if there is real water in the glass, it can quench my thirst. So, water is real, glass is real, pot is real, my husband is real. I am happy with my husband. He gave money, he gave security, he gave a lot of things. How can I imagine a wife and can we imagine my happiness? There is a real husband so that I get security from my husband. He take care of my house. He take care of my children. He take care of me. How can an imagined husband or imagined personality can take care of me or can give me happiness? So the object being real, the things are also real. This is the argument of a person who believe waking state is true, not like dream state. Once more, I will give you why most of the people think that waking state is true, because the objects which appears in the waking state will hold different, they will give some purpose, they will serve some purpose while living. So any real object can only serve a purpose. It can help in a purpose. For example, because there are clothes in winter, I will cover my body and I will take care of my body in winter. Because there is water, real water, I can quench my thirst. Because there is a bed, I can go to sleep in a proper way without any disturbance. Everything what is serving to me is real. How can I believe it is unreal? Something very important. So this is a question raised by the opponent. And this question will be answered in the next verse. Because when we say this, Adau Andeja Yennasti Vartamanevi Tattatha, what is not there at the very beginning, what is not there at the very end, what is only appearing in the middle part, it should be also considered as mithya, an error. But the people who never studied the reality under a traditional teacher, that means 99% of people who are living in the world are running behind happiness and security, food and sex and shelter. So waking state is the source for all these things. How can we make them understand that waking state is mithya? They say that I get some happiness from the food. I get some happiness from the shelter. I get happiness from the clothes. I get some emotional fulfillment from my boyfriend or girlfriend. How can you say it is an error? Because I feel, and my girlfriend or boyfriend is real. They touch me. They console me whenever I'm in trouble. So how can you say it is an error? Waking state is not an error because everything serves a purpose and it's all real. This is an argument raised by the opponent. And I should introduce what is meant by opponent. It should be understood properly. We are studying the commentary of Adi Shankara, a traditional teacher who is the middle pillar of the Guru Parambara, the series of traditional teachers. We have a date that he was born on 1200, something like that. And this Adi Shankara was a brilliant personality. Shankara's commentary is highly praised and studied by the traditional teachers because of the logic presented on that, because of the subject matter presented in a simple way, Lalitam, and also it is something having very heavy gist also. Something which is very simple and having the Gurutvam. Very brilliant, all his commentaries, Commentary means in order to know the verse properly, he has written a prose below every verse. What he has studied from the traditional teachers, that also, and his own ideas regarding this subject matter of the verse. This is called Shankara's commentary, Adi Shankara's commentary. We are studying according to the Shankara's commentary. In Sanskrit, Shankara's commentary is called Shankara Bhashyam, a commentary written by Adi Shankara, who is the main traditional teacher in the series of teachers. When he was born, the India or Bharat are not aware of the Advaita philosophy, which is the goal of every human being. What is meant by Advaita? The creator and the created are non-separate. Every created thing, nothing but the creator. So everything has its own glory because everything is creator. Jiva Ishvara Ekatva Jnanam, the oneness of the Lord and the living being or insentient thing. There is a unity. Everything is one Lord. This is called Advaita philosophy. Nothing other than this Lord exists here. Even though you perceive your different things, they never existed at any point of time. Everything is one and the same Lord. Understanding this reality is called Advaita Jnanam. Knowledge about Advaita. The unity or the reality about oneself and the Lord is one and the same. There is no created, there is no creator. Created and the creator and the media to understand is also one and the same. Through which media I understood the created and the creator are one and the same. That is also the Lord. This is called Advaita philosophy, and this is the goal of each and every human being. Once you understand that who is right in front of me is nothing but the Lord, who is there, who is listening in the form of my body is nothing but the Lord. Whatever I perceive in the world, my hair, my eyes, my dog, nothing but everything is one and the same Lord. This is called Advaita philosophy. Once you come to know this, your life will change a lot. Your maturity will be 100 times more than what you are right now. Because when you know that everything is one and the same creator, your attitude will change and your dealing will be more smoother and mature towards anybody because you are dealing with the creator, the Lord. They don't know that they are the Lord. Your sister may not know, even though the sister may be arrogant or rough and rude towards world and people and towards you. You know that their actions are wrong. Ultimately, the consciousness which is pertaining in that body called my sister is Lord. So your dealing will be very smooth. For your neighbor, it can be smoother because neighbor's actions may be wrong, but you are an Advaita student. You know that everything exists in one single consciousness. There is no created than the creator. Everything is one and the same. But nobody knows other than me. Very few people come to know this secret. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam abhisiddhanam kaschit mam vetti tattvataha. In the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that many people will put effort to know who am I and the reality about oneself. Among them, very few people know as it is who am or their own nature. All other people will get astrayed from the pursuit due to the different things attractive. Many people will start the marathon. Very few people reach the destination because Advaita philosophy is not meant for everybody. So you don't you don't compel your friend who is engaged in some different activities. There will be people who want to study Advaita. They will come. And what we are studying is also Advaita. So Advaita philosophy is the goal of each and every living being. The unity of the created and the creator. The individual soul and the supreme soul are one and the same, in other words. There is no difference between the individual soul and the supreme soul. The individual soul itself is the supreme soul. There is only difference in the bodies. The supreme soul will have some other body, and the individual soul, which is me, will have some issues regarding my legs, regarding my knees, regarding my heart, regarding my some other things. But my body and their body may be different. The content of the both bodies are one and the same. And knowing that I am the Supreme Lord, and that understanding will make the person more mature. That is why Advaita philosophy is more important, and it is the goal of each and every individual. And may you know that Advaita philosophy presents the consciousness as the Supreme Soul, which is never subject to death and birth. The entire teaching will take up to 12 years. It's not a pet talk. We all know that, how much it is elaborated. So, once upon a time when Shankara was born in India 1200 years ago or 800 years ago, the Advaita philosophy is being buried underground and some other teachings are most widespread all over India. That's a big trouble. Ignoring the real goal and you are taking some other thing as your goal is a big trouble. In order to sustain, revive the Advaita philosophy, Adi Shankara decided after his studies to go all around India and to meet people and spread this reality, the tradition, Advaita philosophy. So after studying, after the completion of his studies and becoming a brilliant scholar, he go around the India at least 3 times, they say in the books. And wherever he meet the people who are having some understanding regarding the Lord and the creation, more people are Dvaita Siddhantins. Dvaita means one who believe myself and the creator are separate, the world is also separate. Like that, I am different from my sister. I am different from my mother. Nobody need to taught that. This is called Dvaita philosophy. It's an error. Remember, Dvaita philosophy is an error. That I am different from my Lord is an error. And people believe it's true. And most of the people are looking at the Lord as different deities. One consider the Lord is Ganesha, the elephant-faced deity. Somebody consider that Hanuman monkey-faced Lord. Somebody have different Lord, Maheshwaraha, the Lord of destruction. So these are all partial understanding or pending understanding about the reality. I don't negate that these gods are not there in our tradition. All these gods are nothing but supreme soul, one and the same supreme soul. But knowing that the supreme soul has taken different bodies, we don't have any confusion. But for the ignorant people, there will be always confusion. And they believe, few people in the Indian community, India, a community believe that fire is the ultimate Lord. Few people believe that water is the ultimate Lord. Few people believe that the Lord Krishna is the ultimate Lord. Few people believe that Ananta Shai, one who is sleeping in the serpent bed, is the ultimate Lord. So this group believing is okay. But the problem is, when somebody believe other than what they believe, they want to destroy them. Right now, what we are seeing, Islamic people want to make the whole world Islamic globe. Some other religion, maybe Christianity or some other thing, want to convert everybody and make a Christian majority globe. Some other people want to consider there. I am just giving some example for the sake of understanding. Conversion is there. With the gun, they will put you in the gun point and they will make you to convert their religion. So these are all called terrorists. This is also there in the previous previous time also. That's why opponents are important. Nowadays, modern opponents on that time, they are not so much developed, so that still they are opponents. So while going around the India, Adi Shankara met different people who have partial understanding regarding the reality. And they believe, some people believe fire is the ultimate lord of creation. Some believe that water is the ultimate lord of creation. Even now, in our country, India, there is a group of people who believe fire is the ultimate lord of creation. If you go to temples, you will see continuously fire being lit up from the wood. 24/7, the fire will continue. Some people believe their Lord is ocean. Some people believe their Lord is Lord Shiva. Some people believe that their Lord is Krishna or Vishnu. Similarly, some people believe their Lord is Nabi. Their Lord is Christ. Similarly, all over India, even Buddhas were there. They believe that there is no Lord. Buddhas are nihilists, non-believers of God. It's another trouble, That is why Shankaracharya, after studying under the Guru for 12 years, he decided to go all around India in order to sustain this glorious knowledge, in order to kept alive this glorious knowledge, making them understanding whatever you are thinking are wrong. So that he, by barefoot, along with his disciple, who he went around the India 3 times, they say in the records. And he meet different scholars in the different part of India. But they are lacking the knowledge of Advaita. They have some learned knowledge according to their guru. It's a pending understanding of the Advaita. There is no entire vision. They have only partial vision. What is meant by partial vision? An elephant is being judged, analyzed by the blinds. Somebody touched the ears of the elephant and they say elephant is in the form of something which we used to take the clean the impurities, Somebody touched the trunk of the elephant, they say elephant is in the form of pipe. Somebody touched the legs of the elephant and they considered as the elephant is in the form of pillars. This is called partial understanding or partial vision about a reality. Similarly, there are scholars all around India on that time who never understood what is Advaita philosophy, which is presented in the last portion of Veda, and that's called Vedanta. They never get into that. They are all engaged in the first portion of Veda. They are called Karma Kandin, one who is interested in doing rituals and doing meditations and doing some activities with their body and reach heaven is their ultimate aim. All the people who are attached to the first portion of the Vedas or the ritual portion, their prime goal will be going to the heaven. This is what other religions also consider. Going to heaven is the prime goal. One thing is sure, because you are not satisfied here only, you will decide to go to heaven. Suppose if you are happy here, where do you want to go? Because you are not happy here, you want to go to heaven. Suppose you are happy, you are very peace in life. You never decide to go anywhere in the world. You are completely free. You don't have the pressure to go anywhere. Even in heaven, there are comparisons. Different people will come there in the heaven, and heaven will be in trouble because some people do certain service and come to heaven. Some people do very, very big services for the world and people, and they will be also in the heaven, and they will meet each other, and then comparison will be there. Lot of issues are. I am not interested in heaven, or I will not make you interested to go to heaven. Heaven is another big troubleshooting place. That's what I want to confirm you. So, but all the people who believe the ritual portion, they believe they want to go to heaven. And they are all engaged in the ritualistic portion. They will do daily ritual, they will do daily prayers, they will do daily meditations. There is only one goal. What is the goal? They want to go to heaven. So, this is what now going to be the base of the opponent. Shankara will meet these type of scholars who believe in the partial understanding regarding the reality, and they will keep a competition. Shankara will say, I would like to argue with you in a proper way. You can also argue with me. Whoever loses the argument, they should become the disciple of the person who win the argument. Thus, he met different opponents in India, and because Shankaracharya is going to talk about the reality, all other people have only partial understanding about reality, they often fail. and they will become the disciple of Adi Shankara, and Advaita philosophy will be the topic from there onwards for that people who have failed under Adi Shankara. This is called charcha, a discussion in a proper way, or samvadam. One who fails to address the question of the other will surrender towards him, and they will take the topic of Advaita from now onwards. This is called samvadam, a discussion which is made to know what is in real. So samvadena, through the discussion, proper discussion, Shankara will make them to understand what is the reality and what are the loopholes, drawbacks of your belief. So opponents who are very brilliant because of their sadhanas ask some questions towards Shankara on that time. That questions are being answered throughout his commentary. Again, I will repeat, those opponents who are brilliant on that time of Adi Shankara, he has, while he is writing the commentary, he will keep this question inside the mind and he will write the commentary. It will be helpful and it will be relevant at any point of time in the creation. Not that it will be only relevant on that time. For example, when I say you waking state is an error, you will be also thinking that how can be waking state is an error? Whatever I eat, it will quench my hunger. It will take care of my hunger. It will quench my thirst. How can the water and the food can be unreal? Because a real food, falafel hummus, can only take care of my take care of my hunger. Some roti or kubbus and baba ganush, because it is real, I ate, my hunger has gone. How come the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad can say that waking state is unreal when the objects are very much available for me to make me happy? How can I say that the waking state is unreal? This is the question. This question is raised by an opponent of Adi Shankara when he meets somebody while he is going around India to establish the Advaita philosophy everywhere. The unity of the creator and the created is the ultimate goal of each and every living being. After getting this idea, nobody will die, nobody will be insecure anymore. Here itself, he don't want to go anywhere because he himself is the creator. So, in order to establish the Advaita philosophy, he go through the world and he met different opponents, and those opponents asked some questions, and keeping these questions inside his mind, he written the commentary. Similarly, on the time of Gaudapada, Buddhist was the predominant opponent. Buddha is a monk. You people all know that. He always keeps silence. And through silence, he convey the messages. And he have lot of values like compassion, karuna, daya, and also non-hurting the people, and also having mitatvam. Everything should be in a proper level while talking, while having fun and enjoyment. Everything should be mitatvam, should not go above the level. So Buddhism is something holding towards the value, but ultimate goal is not so favorable for to study. Ultimate goal is there is no God, nihilist. They want to become everybody non-believers of God, which is not our concern. We are not interested in their goal. Their values are very much important. They believe compassion. They believe in truth to speak. They are all they are all having more values in the values. They give more values for the human values. So Buddhism was the predominant opponent on the time of Gaudapada. Maybe some other opponent also. One of the opponent may ask Gaudapada, in the waking state, the objects are serving some purpose, like water quench the thirst, food will take care of our hunger, a shirt will take care of our body. Similarly, all the things which are real come to our life will serve some purpose. How can you say that waking state is also an error like dream state? For that, Gaudapada Acharya written a kārikā verse. That is the kārikā number 7. Saprayojanata tesham supne vipratipadyate tasmad ati andavatvena mithyaiva khalu te smrtaah. Once more. Saprayojanata tesham supne vipratipadyate tasmad andavatvena tasmad adyandavatvena mithyaiva khalu te smrtaah. Remember, this kārikā is based on an opponent's question or opponent's doubt. What is the I didn't tell you what is the exact word for the opponent in Sanskrit. It's called Purva Pakshi. A person who is sitting right in front of you asking some doubt. They don't believe in your philosophy, but they have some doubt. At last, they will join to your philosophy if everything goes in a proper way. A Purva Pakshi raises a question. Now I will come to the Sanskrit word. Purva Pakshi means an opponent who believe Vedas are true, but they don't have the clarity about the Vedas and their doubt. They asked a question to Gaudapada Acharya. How can the waking state become unreal? Why? Whatever I have eaten, it has taken care of my hunger. How much water I have drunk, it quenched my thirst. And also people around me are giving me happy. A bus will take me to right destination. Do you think a bus is unreal? No. Everything, whatever I deal, have a purpose in my life. How can you say that something which is giving some purpose, taking care of my purpose, becomes unreal in our life? What is the point of saying like that? You say dream state is unreal, but you should not extend that deep Jagrata Avastha, the waking state is also an unreal. In waking state, everything is possible. Water is there so that I can quench my thirst. Food is there so that I can take care of my hunger. Shirt is there so that I can take care of my whole body after bath. Similarly, everything is there around me and they are making me happy. How can you say that everything is mithya, an error? This was the question. For that, Gaudapada Acharya gives a very beautiful answer through this kārikā. What is the answer? I already mentioned you. Saprayojanata. Prayojanam. Purpose. Saprayojanata. Purpose of having some objects which are having some purpose in the waking state. The objects which appear in the waking state are having some purpose. that objects which are having some purpose become unpurpose. If I give you an example, after eating a delicious meal, please come to South India once to me. We have a typical way of serving the meal with 62 items in one banana leaf. A traditional way of making a person happy by serving the meal. The main course will be rice. All 62 items will be made with vegetables, some grains, and some other things, So all these items will be. You please check in the Google, somebody who is not familiar, The name is Sadhya, South Indian Sadhya, Sadya. You will see how it is served, You come, whenever you get time, come to me, okay? I will serve with Sadhya. In the waking state, a person who is having a rich Sadhya, a special Sadhya, a meal with a lot of items, different things, every minerals will be taken care of. Every acids will be taken care of our body by these 62 items of Sadhya. I'm talking about vegan. There are non-vegan Sadhya, which is not traditional. People want that so that they are. And having a good Sadhya, and you will get a dessert in the last called payasam. After eating all these things, you cannot move one step forward. Somebody should hold you and keep in a mat to lay down in the ground and go for a sleep for half an hour or 1 hour. Because you have eaten a good sadhya. You cannot move one step forward. Up to this, you are filled. And you are enjoying even now to eat more, but you cannot. Somebody hold you and made them to wash the hands, and you are laying down. And you went for a sleep. And you are seeing a dream. What is that dream? You are roaming in the forest for last 5 days without having food and water. And your legs are being infected by the thorns that get inside. You have a wound in your forehead due to some wood hit on that. Your clothes are being teared off. You are witnessing a big dry day without having any water right in front of you. And you have eaten before 4 days. A horrible dream you see. And suddenly you wake up. Now, what Gaudapada Acharya told became true. Saprayojanada tesham supne vipratipadyante. Whatever purpose served by the things in the waking state became an error in the dream state. You filled your stomach up to this with meal, with a good satya. Everything you have eaten, and you are completely filled with the stomach, and you go to sleep, and you are in dream. In the dream, everything get contradicted. You feel you are searching for food because you didn't eat for 4 days in dream state. So the purpose served in the waking state by the objects are contradicted in the dream state. It's a real experience for everybody, correct? We will be laying down in the bed, but in the sleep, in the dream, we will be seeing ourselves laying near to a public toilet or near to a lake or somewhere, anything can happen. Irony is there. What is being served in the waking state will have contradictory, completely different experience from the waking state we will witness. This is what is told here by the Gaudapada Acharya. Saprayojanada, the purpose of serving, tesham, of the objects which we perceive and enjoy in the waking state. But when we get into the dream state, vipratipadyante, they get contradicted. Like a person who is poor in reality, waking state, but when he go to the dream state, he will witness as though he is been appointed as a king of Greece and he has lot of horses. He have chariots. He is wearing all ornaments. Anything can happen, correct? In reality of the waking state, he is poor. He don't have single penny. Now he is a king. This is what is told here. When you go to the next state, you will get a different experiences what you experienced in the previous state. And it will become an irony, a contradictory. That itself shows that the purpose of serving is not real. If you are really not in a hunger, how can the dream state shows that you are in hunger? It means that waking state is also an error. Waking state, you have eaten up to this neck, no space inside the stomach. And you went for the sleep and you see some dreams which is against what you have experienced in the waking state. This is what is told here. Vipradipadyante. All are contradictory from the waking state, what I see in the dream. From that, we will arrive at a conclusion that, therefore, what are having a small beginning or a product or an object which I perceive in the waking state and having an end, they are all just an error. They should not be taken as real, whether it is in the waking state or whether it is in the dream state. It should be remembered. Our traditional teachers used to, smritaha, traditional teacher used to remember that waking state is also an error because everything get contradicted when we enter into the next state. That is why don't take anything serious in the waking state. Waking state itself is an error. If somebody is angry, get lost. If somebody made you condemn, get lost, no problem. You don't react on that because waking state itself, it's a mithya error. What to talk about the things happening in the waking state? Just to give up. Okay? We will talk about more in practical how we apply in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Markena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparhitaha Brahmana Santu Nirpayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhagbhavit Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.